Thank you so much, Cole, and good evening or good morning to everyone, and welcome to the breakout session. This is a session that will be facilitated by the Asante Africa Foundation team. And just to get you to know why Asante Africa Foundation has gotten here is because we are an organization that educate and empower youths as change agents, and therefore develop their skills in order to be able to take actions about their growth. So in terms of youth job training, in terms of entrepreneurship and leadership. So today we want to present to you a group of youths who have been taking transformation at different levels. And in line with our view, the theme for this year, livelihood. So we have youths who have been taking action in leading livelihood activities during COVID period, and they'll be the panel. We will be very excited to hear from them. So we can proceed. So we have a program at Asante Africa Foundation known as the Leadership Entrepreneurship Incubator Program, which is youth-driven and is focused on developing skills within remote regions. It encourages inclusion, and then our model is a learn, do, and teach model, whereby the youths learn these skills, they do them, and then they also teach other people. So in the process of teaching other people, they pay it forward either by initiating economic activities at a personal level, or initiating youth groups in order to spur community advocacy and networking among the youths. So let's proceed. So what we are going to present to you today is youths who will be talking about how they have used the skills they have attained in this program to initiate entrepreneurship activities, and how they have used the skills they have gained in this program in order to initiate advocacy activities, and therefore promoting growth among their own youths, among their own peers. And the Pay It Forward or the community reinvestment program has developed confidence in them and make them to gain a deeper understanding of leadership and entrepreneurship, and therefore becoming great contributors in their communities. Let's proceed. Asante Africa Foundation generally has had a lot of impact in this program. The four are just a selected few, but like in 2019 alone, we had 60,781 youths going through this program. So, and at the end of it all, we always see a great number of youths coming up to develop personal income generating activities, bringing in parental involvement and involving various community members, and in the process, gain a lot of support and mentors who come in to give them support in order to carry out these activities. The foundation of the activity starts at the school level, then graduates into a summit where they get advanced level training, and then now ends up at individual or community level. Let's proceed. Yeah, so let's proceed. Yeah, so at a skill is given to an individual, that is the child. They come and influence the family and the school level. They initiate income generating activities at the school level. They learn the curriculum at the school level, and then they go out to the community to initiate these activities as well. And also, now what is happening today is youth showcase their talents and skills at the global level. So today at the GYEO, we are at a global level where we are here to understand what our youth does. We have some of our youths who have been part of YALI, who will be level, and even during COVID, that has brought transformation in their communities. So let me introduce to you Solomon Lemasia from Kenya. Solomon, you can say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Let me also introduce to you Doreen Mercy from Tanzania. Hello, Doreen.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Doreen. And
Yes, hi everyone.
Hi, Doreen. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have Nansamba Lilian Matovu from Uganda. Hi, Lilian.
So, hi everyone.
Okay, and we have
Good evening.
Okay, and we have Loam William from Kenya.
Hi everyone.
Okay, so thank you so much. And before we proceed, I would also want to welcome the Asante Africa Foundation CEO, Mrs. Anna Grass, who is here to just say hi to the group.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, Solomon Lemasia has done a lot of work within his community. So, in just 2 minutes, I will ask each one of them to just say a bit about themselves, what they are doing in the community, and what have they been doing also during time of COVID. So, I will start with Doreen. So, Doreen, I hope you have a strong network. Please tell us who you are, and what do you do currently? What is your brand that you are known with as for now? Hello, Doreen. Okay, as Doreen connects, let's go to Solomon. Solomon, kindly please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Solomon Lemalasia from Kenya, as you've heard. I'm a youth entrepreneur running a small business in the village alongside with the poultry farming. I also engage in youth empowerment forums through community radio program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can we go to Lilian?
Hello everyone. I'm called Nansamba Lilian Matovu from Uganda. I'm a youth community advocate and also an entrepreneur. In terms of youth advocacy, I'm a co-founder of Give to Life Foundation, which supports the less privileged agents, empower youth with leadership skills and entrepreneurship skills, also mentoring youth with the focus of sex education. And in terms of entrepreneurship, I deal in hardware business which sells plumbing materials in Kampala, Uganda. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, we have Doreen. Doreen, can you hear us? Hello, Doreen. Okay, I think, so as we wait to get back Doreen, so.
And William.
Okay, yeah. So, William.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Loam William Doro, a Kenyan, 22 years old. I'm alumni from Asante Africa Foundation in Leadership and Entrepreneur Incubator Program. And in this Global Youth Economy Opportunity Summit, in 2020, I'm now a current champion youth on community advocate and entrepreneur. In terms of community advocate, I've been carrying on radio talk shows and community sensitization on coronavirus. And in terms of entrepreneur, I'm carrying on a barber shop. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know whether we have Doreen now. Okay. So okay, let's go to Solomon and the other youths. So
Back in 2018, I attended Lay Summit that was held in Tanzania, where I gained a lot of ideas from, or rather, I got motivated by a certain speaker who actually talked about how he struggled with his business, that is starting with a small business and ended up running big companies. I gained the idea, and then when I came back to my country, that is Kenya, I implemented the idea and started a small business, that is the shop that I'm currently running. I want to say that during this time of COVID period, my shop is helping the community in that people are not, people don't spend a lot in traveling to town to go and buy goods. They just have to come to my shop and get the goods. So my shop is actually helping in that they are able to access the goods from the community. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Lillian, could you also speak about, you talked about you have a Give Life Foundation. How has it been helpful to you and the community during this time of COVID pandemic? And what motivated you to start the foundation as well? Okay. So I think Lillian is also having an issue with connectivity. So I think we'll go to William. So William can also speak about the same. What motivated you, William, to conduct the community advocacy during radio program, through the radio program, and how has it been helpful during the COVID period, pandemic period?
Thank you very much again. I can say what motivated me mostly is that there before I've been attending a lot of summits from Asante Africa Foundation, and I've been getting a lot of ideas from different speakers, which I decided to implement and come out with it as an paid forward, as my paid forward. So, and also I was so having a passion on how to share ideas that I had with my fellow youth in the community. Thus, since I was being taught about what was all about paid forward, I decided to come up with some of the projects that I was able to see that it can be good if I can take it to the community or to share those awareness that I had to the community. So I decided to take some advocacy projects in the community, whereby I decided to go to radio talk shows, and during the radio talk shows, I'm also happy that Asante Africa Foundation was the one who sponsored me to go there to the radio. That was aired on that 10th of June 2020 to 4th on July 2020. Thus, the project, thus I decided to go, and I managed to facilitate and sharing the ideas with the community.
Okay.
On
Thank you.
what was all about coronavirus and their prevention. Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
we can hear you.
So through the radio talk show that was sponsored by Asante Africa Foundation, which was aired between 30th June to 40th July 2020, I was one of the participants, where I managed to pass information to the community on the issue pertaining coronavirus pandemic and their prevention measure. And also I was able to have a conversation or a talk with the early teenagers, early pregnancy on teenagers, youth. And also I've been, due to idea that I borrowed from Asante Africa Foundation, which was as my paid forward in terms of entrepreneurship. As my paid forward project, I started training my fellow youth on how to budget and saving money, and on how to start a small business that will generate income to them. And currently, some of them have started selling their vegetables after mentoring them on farming along River Turkwel in Katilu area, that is in Kenya, in Turkana region. And some of them have already formed income generating activity, youth groups, and some of them also have started their own small businesses.
Okay, thank you, William. We will come back to talk more about the impact of your project. Right now, let's go to Doreen and also hear what Doreen was not able to introduce herself. So, Doreen, maybe you can just introduce yourself briefly and tell us what initiative have you taken during this COVID-19 pandemic period, and what was the motivation behind that initiative? Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm Doreen Masi from Tanzania, specifically in Arusha region. I'm 23 years old. Well, during the COVID-19, I was able to start a project of selling honey as a supplier. So the story behind of what motivated me was that through the use of entrepreneurship skills, of which I gained from the Asante Africa, I was able to connect with the nutrition skills and be able to spread awareness on the importance of honey. I mean, of honey consumption, of which the means which I used to spread awareness was via social networks such as WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, Doreen, what was the motivation behind starting your honey business?
The motivation was that since I gained skills concerning entrepreneurship, I was able to think of a project. So I can say that the motivation was in two sides. From the entrepreneurship skills of which I gained, and also where, I mean, meeting various friends of mine, seeking advice, is when I was able to come up with such project. Yeah. But the story behind was I was so aspired to move on with the entrepreneurship skills and practices. Yeah. Through the Asante Africa trainings that I got in 2014 and 2015.
Doreen, what is your current level of education?
University students.
Okay.
I'm pursuing Bachelor of Family and Consumer Studies at
Okay.
Sokoine University of Agriculture.
Thank you. Lillian, are you back? Hello, Lillian from Uganda. Okay, so maybe we can proceed, and now maybe our panelists, maybe I will talk to Solomon. So Solomon, looking at the kind of influence that you had in terms of doing business in the community, how do you know that your initiative was able to impact the community? How was it beneficial to the community during the COVID-19 pandemic? How did it make a difference? Yes. Hello, Solomon, can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Like I said, okay, thank you, Byron, for giving me this opportunity. During this COVID-19 pandemic, I gave my business a new dimension from just being an ordinary shop to bringing essential commodities from the town to the community. Therefore, people are able to access goods from my shop, and this has helped to minimize movement of people into town, and it has also helped to reduce the number of cases of COVID-19. Yeah, thank you.
And Solomon, what is your current level of education?
I'm a student from Kenyatta University pursuing diploma in monitoring and evaluation.
Okay, thank you. Doreen, you talked about your project was more on health and nutrition. So are you able to tell us how can you gauge that you've made a difference in the lives of people during this COVID-19 pandemic through your initiative?
Okay, I've made a difference in this initiative because during the COVID-19 time, a lot of jobs were shut down, So when I was able to come up with the project of selling honey and use, means of social media to spread awareness and also to advertise on my business, I think it's made a difference because I motivated my fellow youth on how they can come up with their ideas and put it into program, especially now that the technology is going on and it's spreading a lot. So I can say that it motivated them that I was able to come up with something that I was able to spread awareness to through means of social network and reach various people instead of visiting them. Yeah. So it made them gain confidence that they can also make something. Thanks for
Lillian,
having me.
Lillian, are you able to hear us well? So maybe Lillian, you can just tell us in brief, how were you able to also
Yes, I
influence your
hear
community
you very well.
during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Pardon on the question.
How have you used, with your influence in Give Life Foundation, how have you used that to impact your community during this pandemic period?
During this pandemic period of COVID-19, I managed to sensitize the community with my fellow team of Give Life Foundation. I sensitized the preventive measures of COVID-19 to my community. Those people were unaware of this pandemic. So I demonstrated them on these preventive measures. Yes. And then after that, I also harvested some agricultural foodstuffs, for example, bananas, sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, and then I sold them to the households in my community at a relatively low price to reduce on the food shortage because we are in the lockdown and our economy was distracted. So I managed to sell that food stuff to the community at a low price. That is what I did during these COVID times.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to ask maybe two questions to William and Doreen. And so the question I'm going to ask William is, why did you think about starting a community advocacy in radio? What was the motivation around using radio as a media of communication? William.
Okay, thanks again. What I can say is that what motivated me a lot to go to radio talk show, or what makes me to decide to use a radio show as a means of passing information, it was because I was not able to reach everyone in the village or in the community. Thus, I decided to use a radio talk show whereby I was aware that when I'm going to use a radio talk show, it can reach a number of people to be aware of this pandemic. Yeah.
Okay, and Doreen, you talked about honey business, and you said it was majorly motivated by health issues. So, how did you come up with that idea, and what methods of sensitization were you using to reach out to people?
Okay, I came up with that idea because I was doing some research on how can I get myself in selling food products. So when I did some research and I came up to realize that honey was among the good business projects that I could do. So the means of sensitization to which I reached people were like the use of social networks such as WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. And that is because most of the people during the quarantine season, majority of them spend their time perusing through their phones, laptops, because there was no gathering around. So you find that the use of to use and get to learn some things. So I can say that that was the major means of sensitization that I could use, because people were so much into it by that particular time. Yeah, as
Okay.
compared to the previous times.
Okay, great. So, Solomon, maybe you can talk. How did you raise the seed capital to start off your business, and what are some of the experiences that you've encountered, which has made you either to say you are a successful entrepreneur or you are still a beginner entrepreneur?
Thank you, Byron. My business, I started my business with the finance I borrowed from my mom. I borrowed a small amount from my mom, which I used to start the business. And then later, after at least I started saving my profits, whereby I later gave it to the capital to my mother, and I can now say that the shop is mine. So I can say that there are a number of challenges that I'm facing as a business person. There's this challenge of credit, where the customers come borrow goods from my shop and then fail to pay. This one I can say is one of the challenges that is dragging me behind in term not not making me to progress on well, or rather to succeed to the certain level that I was dreaming of. Yeah.
Okay, and Lillian, you have you are running a foundation. How do you fundraise to conduct the activities in your foundation?
Give to life team, we are all entrepreneurs. So we manage to do crafts. We make crafts and sell them to people. We also do car wash and get money. So we raise funds from different jobs and businesses, and we use those funds in our project. Like we use them in our project to handle our project and to provide best needs to those less fortunate people in different forms. Yes, that's what we do.
Okay, thank you. So Doreen, what has been the biggest success for you in running your business, and how have you managed maybe challenges that you get along?
What was a success is that people were so concerned with their health. So the demand of consumption of honey is still high until now, despite the COVID times, the COVID-19 times or the post-COVID-19 times. So I can say that it is a success because people are so much aware now and are so concerned of how to maintain their health. And for the case of challenges, I was able to solve some of them, such as at least getting to deliver, the customer products on time. That's among the challenges that I could solve. And also on how to reach, how the business could reach a lot of people. I was able to manage it via using social networks. At least how I based in via WhatsApp and Instagram. That's how I was able to reach a lot of people. A mass of people concerning the business that I'm doing. That's how I got the challenge and I was able to solve. But the others, till now, I haven't solved them yet.
Sorry, Doreen. Okay, we could hear you, but you are speaking a bit low.
Okay.
Okay. So, Solomon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Solomon, what are some of the skills that you can say you learned through the LEI program, the Leadership and Entrepreneurship Program by Asante Africa, that has enabled you to fundraise? Like, what are some of the skills that you learned about fundraising? Because as a youth, maybe starting a business. Because we have even people who are managing youth businesses. Youth programs. We have youths here also who are interested in starting programs. So maybe can you just tell us some of the skills you learned about fundraising for projects, and how have you used those skills personally to enable you to be successful in your entrepreneurship?
Okay, back in the late summit, I was taught a number of ways of fundraising. Like if one wants to start a business, you basically don't need to struggle and think of what to do. You can just borrow from your parents, relatives, friends, or from any other person that you trust in. And maybe I can say that I decided to borrow from my mom because I had assured her, trust in me, that she will be able to return back the money. That is why I decided to borrow from my mom. Yeah.
Okay, and William, you are running a successful radio program, and through it you are always able to interact with several youth. So what are some of the advices you always give youth in terms of those who ask about fundraising for their businesses? How do you always advise them, especially now that we are in a COVID pandemic period? So what kind of fundraising advices can you give them, and how do they know that it will stay the test of time? Yeah.
Okay, for me, the some of advice that I've been giving some of my fellow youth, that for them to do what we call fundraising. If it is in terms of business, start a business or to carry on any project, it doesn't require for someone to go and find the money in a legal way, but he can take a chance to go and borrow money from friends, from families, or also to find any activity that can generate fund to him, so that he can start a business. For example, if I want to start a business, a small business, I can also decide to borrow even a 500 shillings from a parent, and by the time I've been got those money, I can decide to start to sell something like tea or mandazi. By the time being, I'll be saving money until to my expectation. For that, you can find that you have reached to what you wish to reach to. Yes.
Okay. So let me throw a challenging question to any of you, and any one of you can answer. So for someone who wants to be in the space that you are in, like maybe start an entrepreneurship or be a strong community advocate, being a youth who is in this space, what kind of, or what level of education do you think one would require in order to thrive in business in the community, or to be a strong community advocate? Who would want to go first?
I would
Yes.
go
Okay.
in.
Okay.
Okay.
Doreen.
Okay. It's like this. I mean, concerning entrepreneurship, it's a two. Okay. Okay. It's like. Can anyone hear me?
Yes. Yes. Doreen, go on.
Okay. Okay. It's like this. For anyone who wants to do entrepreneurship, it's a two-way street. Some of them can be as a talent. Some of them can be learned. And for my case, I also aspired. I mean, it was based on learning. So I can say that entrepreneurship does not require any level of education, but sometimes it might require some level of education because it depends with what type of entrepreneurship business that one is doing. For instance, if you're based on health programs, it means that you need to have some knowledge on how a certain food product or medicine works out in people, either for a child, for an adult, or for an elder. But for the case of entrepreneurship concerning maybe selling of clothes, or most of them like owning a certain company, you find that most of them do collaborate. You find that he or she doesn't have any idea, I mean, concerning on how to run the transaction of the cost, accounting, and some sort of stuff, but they do with the ones who have knowledge. And in the end, you find that they make it. Because most even of business entrepreneurs in the world who have expanded their business, some of them in their story, you find that they did not reach at a certain level of higher education. It's just that they decided to use a certain knowledge which they are interested to and made the business progress. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Byron,
Thank you. Yes.
Byron,
Yes, Solomon, go on.
allow me to second what Doreen has just said. I want to challenge some of us who think that when you start a business, you must have a certain level of education or you must have stepped in school. There is a very renowned person in my community here who at the moment is running a very big business and is earning millions of money. In fact, he is respected in the community because of his business. I want to say that it's not a must that one goes to school. Secondly, for you to succeed in business, you have to love the business. You have to love your business for you to prosper in it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Solomon, for those strong words. So, yes, Lillian.
Byron, yeah, for the case, like if someone wants to be a community advocate, first of all, you should be inspirational. You should use your voice in any unethical behavior running in the community. You should be able to be a change maker in your community, and you should live an exemplary life so that others can. Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, so that we also have time to answer a few questions that are in the chat, let me just come to each one of you and kindly tell us, you have seen the way the COVID pandemic period has been, and you have been thriving in whatever you do, be it in community advocacy or be it in entrepreneurship. So what is some of the biggest advices that you can give to maybe youths in the platforms or even to youths who are aspiring to do whatever you are doing right now? What is the biggest advice or what is the biggest take home that you can give to them as a motivation to get into your space? So I will start with William in just 2 minutes.
Okay, for me, I can say that for someone who wants to start a business, as the way my fellow alumni have said, that it's not a must for them to start with venture capital, but you can start with what you have. And also, by the time you want to start a business, ensure that you are confident with what you want to do, and also to develop a positive attitude on what you want to start on what business you want to start on. And for the one who want to develop a community advocate, I can say for them that when you have anything to share with community, kindly don't be someone who can be ignoring some things, but you can share it with the community. It can be a good thing, and it can save a lot of life. Okay.
Doreen?
Okay, for my case is that concerning entrepreneurship issues, it has success and failures at the same time, as well as trial and errors. But I can say that for a person who is aspired to do entrepreneurship business, he or she should focus on what exactly he wants, and also at the same time, he should make sure that he conducts a lot of research concerning the business that he is interested on before starting it, so that he can be able to measure the challenges, the effects, and the success. So I can say that I mean, our consistency to purpose is what makes us realistic in nature. Because at the moment one decides to do something is when people get even to understand what you're doing or what you mean, and they can be able to provide support whenever necessary. But at the time that you decide to settle down, it becomes hard for them to know what exactly you want. But the moment you try is the moment you get to learn and be able to run to success. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Solomon, maybe I can twist your question a bit. So supposing you were taken 5 years back, what is it one thing that you would have wished you would have known 5 years ago? And what is it one thing that you want to do differently in the next 5 years?
Maybe you just repeat the question.
Okay, so basing on the skills and experiences that you have today, what is the one thing that you wish you had known 5 years ago?
Okay, I can say that with business or as a young entrepreneur, I wish I could have known how this very renowned person or this very big entrepreneurs started, so that I can also try and reach their level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lillian, how do you wish that maybe adults came to support you? Like, do you get community support, and how do you wish that the community, especially adults, would support the work that you do in Give to Life Foundation better?
I wish, pardon the question, please, Byron.
Okay, so Give to Life Foundation is a community organization. So given that it's a youth-led organization, however, how would you wish that it is not just supported by the youth, but also supported by adults? So how do you expect that adults can also come in to support your work better?
Yes, Byron. Give to Life through its mentorship, it has made a difference in our communities and other communities. Yes. So I wish the parents could give away their children to us so that we advise them and we give them the physical social support, most especially their docents. They can trust us with their children. And also I know if we continue on empowering youth, this information will be spread from one person to another. And also, due to the advertisements we make on our social media pages, I know this information spreads from one place to another. So if this Give to Life Foundation continues going on, it will impact more youth and it will bring a positive impact in our communities. Also, the youth will develop their knowledges and skills through the mentorship we do in Give to Life Foundation. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and let me talk to William, because William, you do a lot of advocacy work among your peers. So what are some of the challenges that you've come across working with the peers from your locality? How do you manage such kind of a challenge so that you are able to pay it forward effectively among your peers? Hello, William, can you hear us? Okay, maybe let me throw the question to Solomon. Hello. Hi, Solomon, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
come up with the.
So the question I'm asking is, being youth leaders or being youth entrepreneurs within your communities, and you also want to influence other youth to take into the step that you are taking. For example, youths who have not been reached through the LEI program. So what kind of challenges do you find trying to reach out to these other youths, especially those within your peers? And how do you manage such kind of challenges so that you are able still to impact what you have learned or what you know to them as well?
Okay, thank you very much. One of the biggest challenges I can say with that here, it is very difficult for your age mate or your fellow youth to listen to our advices, because they claim that some of them give us as the age mate, so they don't see our advices are as if it's that of high weight. So what we usually do with these people, we try and involve some of our leaders or people who are old in our advices so that they can at least get to listen and be to the advices. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. William?
Byron?
Yes. Hello? Okay, I think he has a network problem. So I want now to give this session to for us to also answer questions, and I will be asking maybe even Anna to come in to maybe say one or two things regarding the questions. But I think our panelists have demonstrated to us very great comments and especially experiences based on their own work that they do. And from their presentation, it clearly shows that we have two sets of group of youths that were here. We have those who are striving in community advocacy and using every forum in order to reach out to their peers. And we have those who are in entrepreneurship. But ideally, all of them are talking about being great entrepreneurs and using entrepreneurship as the basis to also venture into community advocacy. So at this juncture, I want to ask Mrs. Anna Graz, the CEO for Asante Africa, to also just speak briefly about what has been the biggest success for LEI being implemented in some of these very rural communities, so that we also now have today such kind of youth such as William, Doreen, and Loam speaking about the program in this forum. Anna.
Thank you, Byron. I do want to keep the focus on the young people because each of you are the success of today and the change makers of tomorrow. I actually would like to ask each of the panelists a quick question about how has your initiative helped make your family stronger because of it?
Yeah. Solomon, Doreen, and William, did you get the question?
Yes. Let me answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go on.
Okay, like I said before, Erna, my helping to minimize movement of people from the community to town, and on top of that, my family is benefiting so much in that they're also able to pick up from my shop because the shop is just near to my home. Yeah.
Okay, Doreen.
About William.
Mm-hmm.
William, how have you helped your community or your family be better today than yesterday?
Yes, can you pardon again? Because I have a problem with network.
Yes.
I can't hear. Yeah.
So, William, you have many different initiatives going. How has your family and your immediate community benefited from your cleverness?
Okay, my community got a lot of benefit from me since I take that opportunity to have a talk to them on issue pertaining business and also to share with them awareness of pandemic. They have been getting a lot from me since according to my community, as the way you know my community, most of people are illiterate. So by the time I took my opportunity to go to radio talk shows, is when my people got awareness of what was going on about this pandemic. Yes.
Nice. Doreen, what about you?
Well, my community has benefited because most of them were able to get the awareness concerning the importance of consumption of honey, as well as my family, because afterwards they were able, to start using honey as a measurement of, instead of sugar. So I can say also, my family has contributed a lot because my mother has been among the major person who helps me expand the market and finding customers. So I can say that I was able to make a difference in the community through spreading awareness to them on the importance of consumption of honey. So that's it, yeah.
Lillian?
Yes, I can say that my family is very proud of me because back then I didn't have confidence. But after attending the summit, I gained confidence and also did this community advocacy to start up the Give to Life Foundation because they did not expect me to do that. I was looking down onto myself, and also the sensitization I did about the preventive measures of COVID-19. I made my community aware of these preventive measures because our community was in fear, but due to this sensitization, I know that it helped them to not fear COVID-19. And also my fellow students at campus, I inspired them a lot because like I was so shy when I can't do even presentations. But right now I'm even a youth service director of Rotary Club, and I always emphasize my fellow youth to engage in youth programs and other career guidance sessions. And in that, I see it as a great impact to me and also to my family.
Awesome. So I do have one more question for you that hasn't come up. When we do the intermediate and advanced program, we usually commingle young people from all of the 4 countries of East Africa. How has getting to know your counterparts in other countries changed how you think and the activities that you've taken on? How about Doreen?
I haven't get your question clearly. Please write it again. I haven't get it clearly.
Yes. How has meeting other young people from other countries changed your perspective and what you've learned?
Okay. Meeting other people from other countries has made me, have this perspective that we as youth in this current era, we are quite different, and we have a lot of things that we can do, especially through the use of technology. So I'm so inspired to find that I'm not only alone, but also other countries do practice the same in doing various innovations to improve their lives. So I think that's what's making me so proud and think like, wow, I can do it.
Awesome. William, did you hear the question? Solomon?
Thank you very much, Erna. I can say that our or rather our friends from the other countries, we are able to liaise with them and share ideas on businesses, and also we are able to tell each other how we are progressing in our businesses, and able to even challenge each other in terms of where one has reached or how one is progressing. Thank you.
Fantastic. Lillian, and then I'll hand back to Byron.
Okay, for me, I can say according to the summit that has been uniting some of us from different countries, has also makes some challenges to some of us. As an example, for I myself, it has made me to build a courage on how to talk to people, and also in terms of friendships and to share different ideas from different countries. Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. Lillian?
Can you please repeat?
Yes. How has meeting colleagues from the other countries inspired you or helped you in your own initiative?
Yes, meeting other countries, it has helped me to know what global citizenship is, like to share new ideas, new skills with other countries, because we are unaware of some things. But meeting up with other countries has also gained me much confidence, and also it has inspired me more.
Great. I'll hand it back to you, Byron, to begin to wrap things up.
Yeah, thank you, Adna, and thank you very much for that emphasis. And just to now, as we wrap up, I think the focus has been more on entrepreneurship and livelihoods. And so I will just be specific to ask first, Solomon, what is it going to take you to scale your business to greater heights? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Byron. I can say that the challenge I just talked about on giving out credits in my shop, I can say that I'm trying to mitigate that challenge, whereby I'm checking on the creditworthiness of some of my customers to ensure that I don't give out credits to some customers who are not credit worth. And also, I'm trying as much as I sympathize with people to avoid giving out the credits, then I fail to follow up on them.
Okay,
I think
however, okay, yes, that's okay. But now we are looking at now maybe in the next 2 years, where do you want to see your business at, and what will it take you to reach it there, to make it bigger?
Okay, right. I can say that I have so many business ideas that I want to also do apart from the shop. That is why the profits that I'm making from my shop, I'm saving them so that they can help me start other businesses. I want to do a very big business in my town.
Okay. Doreen, what avenues are you trying to look at in order to network your business? Like, how are you networking your business so that it becomes a big venture in the next 2 to 3 years? Hello, Doreen, can you hear us? Okay, so I think Doreen still has a challenge with network. So the president for Liberia made a very prominent quote that we like to use, and she said that if your dreams do not scare you, your dreams for entrepreneurship, your dreams for community empowerment, or even your dreams for starting a foundation, if they don't scare you, then they are not big enough. So today we have a group of youths who have shown us what dreams they had, and these dreams would have scared them when they were still in school, when they were still just starting up the LEI program. However, today they are seeing how these dreams are already making a difference in the lives of their own families, themselves, and even that of their community. So we want to urge everyone who has joined our room today, whether you are in the as an implementer, as a donor, as someone who is looking, as a youth who is aspiring to be an entrepreneur, that the opportunities for entrepreneurship and the opportunities for growth and the opportunities for livelihoods all lie in your hands. It's only that you need to get the right network in order to be able to get to your where you are. Today we've presented to you our case studies, and therefore I know you also have case studies that you can also share with us. You can still write to us even on any comments or any areas that you think. And if you want to know more about Asante Africa Foundation program, you can always go into our website info at asanteafrica.org, and you will learn more about Asante Africa. Thank you so much for joining, and we wish you well.